Interpersonal skills. Advanced practitioners need many hats. Whether they wear them one at a time or 10 at a time, you're going to need a big hat rack. They need to be an advisor, a counsellor, a listener, an effective listener, know when to intervene, dispute management because it's going to happen. Be approachable because people need to be able to come to you with their issues and problems and know that you're going to take them seriously and that something's going to be done about it. Addresses people's weaknesses in a positive manner. Negativity is counterproductive. Effective peer coaching and enhancing people's strengths. Interpersonal skills where you can effectively speak to peers at all levels. Teamwork. It's vital in any department. Although much of nuclear medicine work is carried out independently, overall effective, responsible and reliable teamwork is essential. You need to know that your team members are going to be there for you when you need them. Help to create a positive and productive working environment. Be inclusive and utilise and encourage people's strengths. And work on their weaknesses. They may not be aware of any weaknesses, so be kind. Not only praise and thanks from patients is a boost, but when it's received from other team members, it does really mean a lot. You need to fast think with problem solving. Think on your feet. Create a no-blame culture, having an open and honest working environment where people are not worried about coming to you with problems and issues. Have achievable aims and measurable objectives so people can go back and see whether they've made an improvement or whether there's a need for any more training, for example. Not setting people up for failure. This damages people's self-confidence and can make them disconnect with you and or the department. Knowing when and how to give support to individuals also, either with personal or work issues. Knowledge. Be aware of legal legislations, regulations and restrictions. Know who, when and how to contact key people, for example the RPA or EA or Siemens. Be flexible, so with your working practices, especially with so-called difficult patients, whether they be needle phobic, claustrophobic, mental health capacity issues or physical disabilities that require a change in usual working practices, learn by how others do it and maybe give advice on how you do things to get around these issues. Be able to implement advanced working practices to your own working and those of the others around you. CPD, the dreaded word, but you need to keep it up to date, especially for the HCPC registration and their audits, and keep up to date with any current issues. Cost and time constraints and implications. Have a knowledge of cost and time constraints of running an effective and efficient department. Any implications on staff and patients. So, example, machine service or breakdown has time implications not only on the patients having to be rebooked, but staffing issues if we need to catch up on any workloads. Radiopharmacy changes and pharmaceutical use versus diagnostic images obtained. So, example, when we went from TFM to MIBI, we needed to leave a little bit of extra time after injection to reduce the gut activity so we get a good diagnostic image, which means just jiggling about with the timings of the scans up post-injection. And whether to see whether there's any alternatives that we could use, either scanning techniques or pharmaceuticals, without having a detrimental effect on patients, staff or the department. So an effective nuclear medicine department, you need to be able to have the ability to liaise with different departments and companies. So they'll include nuclear medical physics, Siemens, EA when they come on their visits, Southampton Radiopharmacy and any other isotope supply companies. Alliance, because their pet department is within nuclear medicine, so we need a working relationship with them. Any other hospital departments that use our department for scans and to get advice, and to be able to work clinically and carry out accurate clinical work. That word always gets me, although I can be accurate. Be up to date. So up to date on current practices, what's happening in other departments, which could be beneficial to your department. So attending BNMS or reading Rad magazine or other literature, talking to other departments, seeing what they do and see whether it can be beneficial to your department. Changes in any guidelines and NICE guidelines, any legislations or regulations that could be changing that would affect the running of your department. Keeping up that CPD, the dreaded word, and keeping the role of members of staff up to date and develop the department and what the department can offer. So new ideas. So carrying out audits to benefit the department and the patients visiting the department. Keeping training for staff and others to keep up to date with their training, and using staff discussion to put forward any ideas of new scanning techniques or changing radiopharmacy or any other ideas that might benefit the running of the department. No idea will be a bad idea. It's always good to bounce ideas off each other. So staff discussion, whether it's just in the tea room or on a more formal basis, is always beneficial. And then people feel included in what's happening in the department. And other ways of carrying out workloads, both clinically or clerical, so new ways of record keeping, for example. Personal qualities, so you need to be understanding and show empathy, not just to the patients but other members of the team as well. Be fair, but also be firm. Not everyone's going to be happy with decisions that you make. And the decisions you make need to be inclusive of all. It can't just benefit one person in the department. It has to be beneficial to everybody and fair. You go above and beyond what's expected without being prompted. And you preempt issues and deal with them before they have a chance to escalate into something more serious or time-consuming. You never ask others to do more than you would willingly do yourself. So if you would like someone to stay late, then you're going to be staying late with them. Not afraid to ask for assistance. It's not a sign of weakness. Nobody knows everything. There's no such thing as a perfect person. Everybody learns a new thing every day, and that's a good thing. So know your limits and the limits of others. Undertake additional duties. And you work well under pressure. You don't offload that stress that you're under onto every member of the team, because then that just causes the team to be, really uptight and stressed, and then eventually that's going to knock on effect to the patients, and then they're not going to have a beneficial and positive visit to the department, which is not what we're trying to achieve. And above all, be professional. Yes, we all like to have a laugh and it gets us through the day, but we need to know when to put that professional hat back on.